Our department has always encouraged students to engage and redeem the work of culture and communication. Bill's career is a testament to that vision. Bill started his Calvin faculty career in 1992, the same year I started as a first-year undergraduate. Calvin was a perfect fit for Bill, allowing him to be both a teacher and scholar of pop culture, film, and communication. As a freshman communication student, I heard about Romo's fun classes and that he was a ruthless grader of essays. In that same year, my friends and I went to his rock and roll history show. None of our other professors could sing quite like that. When I came back to Calvin as a professor, Bill was a supportive mentor. In the last several years, he and I worked together to create a new program, the Master of Arts in Media and Strategic Communication. The program exemplifies the qualities of Bill's career: an emphasis on collaboration, a blend of the creative and the practical, an emphasis on excellence, and a calling on Christians to be faithful communicators. Before we move into the future of the MMSC, let's look more closely at Bill's past work.
It was 32 years ago, in case you might like to know.
All right, let's start rolling.
And that's when I arrived at Calvin College, now Calvin University. I was ABD, all but dissertation, and I accepted a one-year research fellowship to study youth, popular culture, and the electronic media, which became the subtitle of a book entitled Dancing in the Dark. And that fall, I performed for the last time a one-man theatrical, musical, multimedia show I'd put together called The Heart of Rock and Roll. Until a few weeks ago, I never knew that my top drawer department chair, Kathy Grunendijk, was actually one of the students in the audience. Great hook for a retirement story. And then days later, I got a call from my old friend Terry Thomas, hashtag finished Netflix, who takes, shall we say, a rather interactive approach at the Art Museum. Terry and I both worked for the CCO, a campus ministry that sponsors the annual Jubilee Conference in Pittsburgh. I was a staff specialist with the CCO when I was touring the show, and, well, Terry asked me to put something about it on social media during the COVID-19 shutdown. And at first I was reluctant because the truth is, I wasn't all that good. I mean, I'm a self-taught actor and musician, and if that's not enough, I don't have much of a singing voice. And that apparently did not prevent some people from benefiting from the show, which demonstrates, I think, that it was really a pretty creative idea. So on second thought, maybe I could squeeze a little more educational value out of it. You know, the Heart of Rock and Roll, which I started performing around 1981, had two main themes. One was that the creative process of American popular music was an inventive blending of black and white musical styles and innovations, and with it, some cultural intermingling. The second, that popular music reflects a culture it helps to create. The sounds, the rhyming lyrics are a nuanced representation of the zeitgeist, the spirit of the times. And so we're going on a little road trip. First stop is at the Delta Blues Museum, housed in the old rail depot building in Clarksdale, Mississippi. The Mississippi Delta is an important region that exerted a strong influence on musicians like Robert Johnson and Muddy Waters. The pulse, heart of rock and roll, is the 12-bar blues.
Now, American folk music has always been made with the process of fusion, absorbing different musical elements and materials of American culture. It's been a continual interplay between black and white cultures in America. And the second strain of music from the rural South was the black man's blues. And remember, this is a white man's rendition. I wonder what's gonna happen to my baby. Don't know anywhere my baby's gone. I wonder what's gonna happen to my baby. Oh, don't know anywhere my baby's gone. Oh, yeah. Well, it was early one morning, Lord. My baby, I told you that I was wrong.
That is the classic introduction to blues-based Johnny B. Goode, one of the most recognizable early rock and roll songs by Charles Edward Anderson Barry, born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, the heart of rock and roll was educational through and through, part history, part cultural analysis, high-energy storytelling with a healthy dose of parody. In one scene, I came out wearing all the accoutrements of a late 1960s student protester: beads, bandana, blue jean jacket, and even a sex, drugs, and rock and roll pin. And there was a flower pot on stage that eventually became an Energy Dome hat for my cover of Devo later on in the show. We first called the show "Let 'Em Build Their Kingdom," a phrase from a Michael McDonald song when he was with the Doobie Brothers, with the rather academic-sounding subtitle, "A Penetrating Analysis of Popular Music and Culture." But after a performance, people would come up to me and ask, "Did you really hear Martin Luther King Jr. at the March on Washington?" I was in elementary school in 1963. Or what was it like at Woodstock? Well, I was a teenager and I didn't have the means. I don't know, crowded, wet, muddy, loud. So I began playing a character who lived through these events in the decades after World War II. And the first person narration made it more dramatic, and I added a slideshow, which would have been a whole lot easier to do if we had PowerPoint back then. With the changes came a new poster and title: "The Heart of Rock and Roll. He's got a musical diary of unfinished dreams." Now, you got to understand, there was nothing the least bit glamorous about any of this. And one time I did a show in the afternoon at a commuter campus in an auditorium that held 1,200 people. And students were wandering in and out. And at one point, the entire audience was made up of 4 people: the 2 sponsors and 2 of my friends. Live long and prosper. I usually played for crowds of maybe 200 to 500 people, mostly on college campuses. But one summer, I did an abbreviated version of the show at the Presbyterian Youth Triennium at Purdue University. And there were about 5,000 people in the auditorium. And for me, that was like Woodstock. And I walked up to the microphone, and at the top of my lungs, I screamed, "Rock and roll!" Slid across the stage on my knees and lit into that opening riff from Chuck Berry's John B.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chuck Berry. Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens, they stood a log cabin made